Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's yet another beautiful, beautiful Thursday, and here we are as the alternative voice. And tonight I'm not alone. I'm joined by my co-host tonight, Aaron.
Yes, greeting boys and girls. Ha, finally. The
Karib.
two of us are here. Imefanyika. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time
Yes,
coming. Ndio
ladies
hii
and
sasa.
gentlemen, here we are, live from Nairobi, Kenya. Aaron ARAKA, you are on which side of Nairobi? In south or west?
Aye. Home, southwest, east, or north. Hata sijui niko wapi. I have no idea where this is. This is eastward.
Sawa, but ni Nairobi
Towards
basi.
Nakuru. Ni Nairobi. Nairobi.
Aya,
How are you
sawa
doing,
sawa.
man?
So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are having a discussion, and our topic of discussion tonight is youth and societal pressures. Yes, youth and the societal pressure. So, if you're joining, this is the alternative voice, and we are live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. If you want to find us, Aaron, how do they get us? Facebook and
They'll Damn on all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, The Alternative Voice, at The Alternative Voice, Cleophas.
yes, and that's where you can catch us live. Tonight, we are here for about 50 to 55 minutes so that we can have an engaging session with you so that at the end of tonight, you can come to a conclusion that can be able to propel you to the next level. So, our topic tonight is
Say, youth and societal pressure. This one is
yes.
this is a big one. Youth and
So,
societal
Aaron,
pressure.
what do you understand with this topic?
This for me, this topic, it can represent vitu mingi sana to different youth. Because if for starters, if you look at the statistics lately, is that a lot of youth are having mental disorders, becoming mental depression, as compared to Kiangalia, like back in the early 2000s, in the 80s and the 90s, we didn't have so much pressure. So hakuwa na hizi kesi mingi sana za mental health. When you look at the news sources, like last year, the majority of last year, kwenda mwisho mwisho, the stories were around youth and depression, youth and mental disorders. And you can see that the major cause of this is societal pressure. And for me, this societal pressure comes from everyone. You know, Zakuta, from the fellow youth, can come from your parents, from the clergyman, from the people around. So there are things that are expected of youth to achieve. I mean, there is a yardstick and inatumia to measure the societal success of a youth, or what a youth is expected to perform in society, because all eyes are on you as a youth. Now ukiangalia sahi, everyone is like, oh, this generation and that generation. So there's a lot of pressure on the youth to deliver on different fronts, be it educational, be it after you're done with education, ukiingia in the field of work, you're supposed to come up with something that is supposed to sustain you spiritually. You're supposed to contain yourself. There are also all these other pressures from external sources, come at the media, a lot of things. I think it'll be a very fruitful discussion. So I think there are lots of things which contribute to societal pressure that affect the youth.
Thank you very much, Aaron. And on the same note, we can conclude that if you have that pressure to deliver what the society expects from you, it means ni wewe mwenyewe ndio unajiweka katika sehemu sana. And talking from personal experiences, we all have our stories. And there's a way we can say, I've been forced to do this because the society expects me to do that. For example,
true.
what are some of the parameters or key areas that the society drives you to make some decisions that are not yours, that are not personal? The decisions you arrive at because of their well-being. Is it matter on education? Is it on your marital or relationship status? Is it at work?
Exactly.
Or what do they expect at the end of the day? What
I
parameters
would,
do you have?
first, before I answer that, I would love to know what you're thinking upon those parameters are. I would like to deflect this question first to you. I would really love to know what your thoughts are.
The parameters in this case I've just mentioned them clearly, and as you can see, we have the aspect of education, and for sure it's not something that is very easy for most individuals to make that decision, because from school you transition directly to work, and there are expectations. They expect you to get job immediately after your campus. They expect you to get job immediately after your diploma. And remember, this is something that is coming externally. It's not a drive from you. It's a wish that you have, but the state of our country currently does not allow you to transition that easily into the market or into the real job area. And if it comes to relationships, they expect you kwanza, Aaron, sasa naona unakaribia kufika unakaribia kufika 20. Wana expect ukuwe na mtu pembeni, yule mtu ambaye utapeleka nyumbani na useme huyu ni mke wangu. Jamii imetuweka ya kwamba wana expect
unabonga serious
tupea pressure, and that's the societal pressure. Sijui kama nimekujibu Aaron.
That is a very adept response. Kwanza, if I would take time kuongea about the education. For starters, there was a study nilikuwa nimesoma about boomers. You know, there are different generations. There are boomers, there are millennials, the Gen X and Gen Z. So the study said that the boomers, they had all the opportunities to venture into whatever studies and whatever fields they wanted of professionalism. And then there were the millennials who came in. They were 80 something to 95. Now these ones were really working hard in order to get to these job placement centers, in order to get to these maybe engineering jobs, pilotry jobs, and such jobs are seemed to be prestigious in society. And then there is the Gen Zs and the Gen Xs, who in their own term, they want jobs that satisfy them. That is why ukiangalia sahi, there are very many people who are quote unquote artists, quote unquote freelancers, who do jobs that really they want to be fulfilled by what they do. It's just because some people do it, or it's a prestigious job that they want to do it. But the generations before us, our parents and the people who are before us, they're like, oh, when you grow up, I would want you to be a pilot. There's a reverse psychology that goes into there. So that when you ask a little child, like, what do you want to become when you grow up? They'll tell you, I want to be a doctor. They want to be a pilot. They do not necessarily want that. But because the parents are insisting on this thing, they're like, oh, this is a very prestigious thing. The child goes, okay, now I want to be a pilot. I want to be a doctor. So by the end of the day, there's a pressure from you from home for you to perform. Maybe you might not be as good in math or sciences. You might be good at arts. But at the end of the day, you're expected to be what? If you expected to answer this question as what do you want to become, or what do you want to achieve after this, what areas unataka kwenda kufanya nini after this, but like they would always want you to say nataka kuwa pilot, nataka kuwa daktari, or so there is that pressure that is on these young people from the society, especially from their parents and from the people around their parents, to deliver on this front. Like, if yes,
that tender age, if I can cut you short, at that tender age when you hardly make a decision, because watu wengi husema sana nataka kuwa pilot, nataka kuwa daktari, at a tender age before apatane na physics, apatane na chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Then unapatikana pabaya after kufanya biology na ufanye classification, you be classified to a different thing.
Unakuwa classified.
You move to the extent of becoming a patient. Yeah.
Daktari wa roho.
Yes, and if you dive deep into whatever thing you want, or if you dive deep into what the parents want or what the society wants, and that's not the passion, that's not what you really want to do, you end up doing things out of the pressure, but not out of the passion that you have for the job. Take on that.
Let me ask you, how many times have you heard this story? A certain boy or a certain girl went to school, studied hard, finished campus, and then after they had finished, they brought the certificate back to their parents and told them, thank you very much, here's a certificate, now I'm going to do what I want. How many times have you heard such a story?
There are such stories. And at times, I tell you, in the office where I operate, there is there are this group of artists who come to our studios. You get someone who did mechanical engineering, went practiced. Yeah, these artists
Mm-hmm.
practiced engineering with their father in his farm, and said, "No, this is not what I want." And so after this,
Mm-hmm.
I give you this certificate, and I go do my hustle, and my hustle is what I
Mm-hmm.
live in, and that's music.
Yes. Plus, when these kids ukiuliza watoto what they want to become when they grow up, they do not really understand what being a pilot entails. They do not really understand what being a doctor entails or a neurosurgeon. Wanasema because it's something that has been repeated severally and it seems to be prestigious. It's the same thing I would say with body positivity. Ukiangalia sahi, if branding has really affected the way we view people. That's why if you look at the statistics, like since the advent of social media and advertisers, young girls at the age of like 13 or 14, bear with me, are becoming very body conscious because of what is portrayed. So, like, this is the body that is being portrayed on the media. This is the body that is being portrayed in the advertising industry. So they feel bad about their own bodies. So these are the same aspects that are being portrayed in the study in the what is it called, the jobs, the
Job
careers.
market.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. If being portrayed as being a pilot is good and a rapper is you're a gangster or something, and being a doctor is prestigious, or and someone who paints or someone who acts is something which is not up to task, you can you can see how it will affect the decision making of people, the young people, the teenagers, the youth, and how it will create a problem later on in life when they're met with this crisis. Like, nimesoma, I have studied in this course, but at the end of the day, I don't find joy in whatever I'm doing. So that pressure from the jobs it also it creates some dilemma for the young youth.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So encouraging, Aaron, because
Uh-huh.
this is not the situation we really want to find ourselves as young people. And so we
Mhm.
really wonder what's the next step for us as youth to ensure that we avoid the societal pressure and to bring in something new. And so
Mhm.
to join this conversation live on Facebook and on our YouTube channel, and you can join us at the Alternative Voice platforms. Give us your take. What's your thought on this? And joining us, I think that's Shak Charles. You are joining us. Give us your comment on this topic. Danny, we have those comments also coming through. Keep them coming. And if you wish to join this live broadcast, there's that link on the comment section. Just tap and we will bring you on our live broadcast. If you're joining us live on YouTube, thank you very much. Shak Charles, youth and
Welcome.
societal pressure. Ni nini inafanya vijana wawe wanapewa pressure sana, wanapata msukumo kutoka nje, bali sio that in drive to do whatever thing they want to do. Can you hear me?
Well, I can say that it depends with okay. I'll say there are a lot of pressures. Can you hear me? Well, I can say it depends with okay. I'll say there are a lot of pressures.
Yes, seemingly we are losing Charles, and we
Tumepoteza
lost him actually.
mwenzetu. Yeah, he's
Yes,
actually gone.
and if
But
we can get
Cleophas,
yes,
if I can say one thing,
yes,
it
Aaron.
is that this societal pressure does not only come from the generations before us. It doesn't come only from our parents or the people who are considered elder. It also comes from our fellow youth in terms of it's such a cliche to say now, peer pressure. I, you might say, oh, it's been preached a lot, but it's something that's true. We face pressure from our peers and from the people who are our guardians and parents. So the pressure is all around us, and This is why some of the young float and turn to other things, because let's say the parents are putting pressure on you to perform in a certain way. Your peers are putting pressure on you to perform in a certain way, or to do something, or to go along to with a certain rules or plan. And then there is also external pressure from the institutions and faculties that you would go to venture in to look for jobs. And there's also pressure from life itself. Let's say someone you finished school and then you're tamarking, and then you're expected to move out of your parents' house. You expected to cater for your own bills, but you have nothing to go on for. And then tuseme, as you're tamarking, you also have a partner, so some chick or some dude you're dating. Okay, it's mostly for dudes because unless we have some chick when you're talking, yeah, you have this chick up on the side, no, who's your girlfriend or your spouse or anything. And obviously you'll be obligated kumtumia kakitu kando to make her nails or to pamper her kidogo. See, all these pressures, they will culminate into a mental breakdown if some measures are not put in place to curb, like could reduce the sharpness or the effect, the impact of some of these areas that can be mitigated ndio hii pressure sisi vijana and the young teenagers who are coming up. That nilikuwa nataka kuongeza just in the middle.
Yeah, it's something that is real, and hata sisi vijana wenyewe tunajisukuma pabaya sana, na kusema ukweli, it's not something that we really wish for our fellow young men. Mtu ameumoka tu vizuri mtu ameumoka. We kijana na pressure yako ushaanza kusema I want to be like this person. You don't know the hustle that this person goes through to ensure that he lives or leads such a life. Or we try to copy lifestyles that are not ours. And so as young people, at times we bring this pressure to ourselves. It's not something that comes really from the society. But now what can we do? And we get comments from Facebook and YouTube, if we can get them live on our screens today. Yes, we have Millicent Ochieng, thank you very much for joining us live. We have Kevin Emuhaya tuned live, watching us on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Can I read some of the comments on YouTube?
Yes.
Millicent Ochieng says, apart from expectations from the society, there's also this aspect where youths want to compare themselves with others. Internal pressure, this can kill. I think we've talked about it. And this has been brought about largely, I think we had talked about this before for the financing, the previous podcast, brought about mostly by social media. Mtu anaenda anapose mahali kwa gari ya wenyewe, ama anapose, anaenda anafanya Photoshop, anasema ako diani leo. You want to compare yourself with that person, and then at the end of the day unajipatia pressure, una struggle bure tu. That gives you pressure. Inakuchoke. Una struggle, inakuchoke. You just give yourself internal pressure, and this alludes to the point where I was saying, like the past few weeks. Yes, we have gone through the same things that our parents went through when they were youth, but things change, situations change. Kama sahi, obviously they went through some physical changes or some interactivity or social changes, but with us there is the advent of information explosion. Information is everywhere, and there is social media, so there's that very competitive nature. And if someone does not, like, if you post a picture today and then it gets 2 likes, you're like, God. But if you fake having a car or Rolex or something, ama umeenda travel mahali, you get 1,000 likes, unapata appreciation, you get like 500 likes, you get new followers, and then there's that dopamine hit in your brain system, alafu unakuwa so psyched up. And then you have the pressure to keep on continuing staging this fake life. I'm not saying others, that some people who don't have this legit life, there are, but the people who really have the pressure to continue staging this life, in our music, just gives them pressure. How am I gonna upstage this? How am I gonna outdo this post? How am I going to keep living this life on Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter that I don't really live in reality? And based on that, mtu unapata ameanza kuwa na stress, ameanza kushikwa na stress. He's taking loans kwenda to tour places that he could not or she could not. She's not capable of maintaining the loans or paying them back. Unapata you're in debt. There are all of these now. On top of that, unapata there are stresses from maybe say your family side. You're expected from this. You're expected to marry. You're expected to do all things. So, and these are some things that we can just ignore. You see, ignore. We can just do away with. We do not need to give ourselves internal pressure. And it's good to be competitive, but coveting is something that is not good. It's good to be competitive. It's good to look for something that is good, but coveting whatever someone else has and using someone else's life as a measuring stick, it's not the best idea.
So tonight we're asking you, viewer who is joining us live on YouTube or Facebook, and a good number of you are on YouTube, and if you can get your comments rolling, we have Joshua, we have Shanice, we have a number of them, Eric Ogola. Societal pressure is real. This is due to personal expectations against challenges. I'm just focusing on what Eric is saying, Aaron. Is it us as young people or the society that we have gone to be part of that really makes us think that having the expectations of them, as I mentioned earlier, there are the expectations of employment after school, after college. There are those expectations. After getting that job, they expect so much from you, and yet you have challenges that come along with the expectations that they have for you. So in such a case, how can we as young people try to minimize these expectations? Should we try to lead a more personal life? Should we not put everything that we do out there? Or what can we do exactly to bring others on board? Because there are those people who have expectations on us. And so I invite you as a viewer, you can join us in this live discussion and also shed more light on this. To join us, kindly check on the comment section, and you can join us using the link for StreamYard, where you'll be in a position to contribute on this topic. And also we get other comments from other users. If you can take the next from Millicent, we've gone through that. And we go to Shaq Charles. Yes? Do you have comment from Shaq Charles? There are pressures to get children, or if you do have one, then question starts shooting in when you're gonna give your kid a sibling. Yes. So that's the question that also comes from the parents and all those people who really depend on us in so many ways. So the matter is family and relationships, Aaron. How can you tackle this specific?
Family and relationships.
Yes.
Hapa that's the expert, but this is what I can.
Hiyo yako tu ya juju. Hiyo yako ya juju. Kama umejipata in such a situation, wanataka umepata mama, umeweka mama nyumbani, na sasa wanataka ulete mtu on board. Yani watu waongezeke.
Unajua wengine wetu bado hatujafika hapo. But what I can say about this is that obviously your family will have expectations of you, and you yourself will have expectations of yourself, but you can't meet all of them. No one is perfect. You can't meet all expectations. And the thing I would say, or I would not advise, the thing I would like to resonate with people is like, you should learn to cope with things, because most of us wakikuwa form 1, they wanted to be pilots. By form 3 walikuwa wanataka kuwa flight attendants. By form 4 walikuwa wanataka kuwa madereva, and by the time unaingia first year, you just want to be a human being. There are things that you will obviously achieve. There are things you're setting out for yourself. There are milestones that you'll set out for yourself to achieve. But there are other things that you will not achieve, obviously. So learning to cope with this, learning to understand that failure is part of life, failure to live up to certain expectations is part of life, and accepting that and working from there, I think it alleviates pressure mingi kutoka kwa watu, because people are like, oh damn, what if I don't do this, if I don't get to this school, if I don't marry this kind of girl, if I don't get this kind of job, how is it going to happen? There's always another way out. There's always a plan B. Takama might seem that that things are not turning out the way that it's expected from you. That's how life is. That's what I've come to learn, because for me, there are many goals I had set out to achieve. There are these stories that run this person by the age of 12, by the age of there are a lot of memes that go around right now saying that, hey, Buddha, relax, uko 20. You're thinking like a 70-year-old that you have failed, hauna pension, you have work, you already started looking at yourself like a failure. There's still a great gap in life for you to work with. So to start measuring yourself like as a failure when you're like 20 or 25 or 15. Yes, bahati ya mtu inaweza kuja at a certain point. Na yako itakuja at a certain point. Everyone has his own time. That's all I can say. Because if you start, and that goes back to the point ya kujicompare na watu wengine. Ukianza kusema, oh, this guy tulienda shule na yeye, mimi niko third year, sijui wapi hapa, yeye ashaanza biashara, akona kwake, hakuna mali utaenda. Even the objectives that you had for yourselves, utaanza kujidoubt. Whatever you had for yourself, you will derail yourself, starting to compare yourself with a so-called classmate or the so-called person who is doing well. You just need to realize that your time will come. It will. So all these pressures that are out here, Zico, just learn how to cope with them, and that's what we're trying to figure out. How do we cope with these societal pressures?
Yes, this conversation is live, ladies and gentlemen, and we can get Daniel Jaka to join this conversation. Yes, and that's our producer. Tulisema leo ni team ya the alternative voice, and we're here today to talk and just to discuss these things as they are, and to get Don's perspective on these questions that I'm going to be reading live from YouTube. If you're joining us live, this is the alternative voice. If you're on Facebook, you can also join us live at the alternative voice. And so their comments actually zinaingia kuingia. Wengine wanashangaa historia ya kumaliza shule alafu unataka tu kukua human being because of the pressure unafanya huko ndani ya kukua engineer.
I think tungekuwa na madama hapa because there are societal pressures that come with chicks.
Millicent, ako wapi? Millicent, our strategic officer, kindly. We need you in conversation. If you can join us live, we'll just bring you on board. Now, so kuna questions actually arising on YouTube, Don. Now, yeah. I just want you to agree with or disagree with the life that we portray outside as young people on these social platforms. You can say Instagram, Facebook, and even Twitter. All these social platforms. I know those are most. Now for Tracy Chapman, Tracy Aviambo, we get the other name, huh?
Chapman.
Tracy Chapman. Expectations also bring pressure from parents.
Kapsa.
Those.
Producer.
Yes.
Hey, it's
your statement here, Tracy. Don, what's your take on it?
Man, say it's very true what Tracy Adiambo is saying. First of all, I want to thank you guys. You're doing a great job here. So about this pressure, societal pressure, this point about what Tracy is saying is actually true. Man, say lazima mtu maintain pale social status pale social media. Juu mimi nione my peer ame post like akona Nike pale, amepiga luku. Manze, if I'll just work hard to go for a photo shoot, manze. That's for sure. Sina kakitu lakini nitaenda photo shoot. Nacheki. To go on the same level. Hari akinunua shati apige picha hiyo shati na mimi hapa tuko tu hapa.
Waanze kumwambia yeye ni kijana wa mashati kali kali.
Yeah, so it happens when it happens. From peers tunapata hizi pressures pia from our peers.
So Don, unasema for that case ya mtu kwenda tu kujiingiza katika inaitwaje social platforms na portray life yenye si yake, alafu hapo baadaye unajiingiza kwa loans. We remember our previous topics tumekuwa tukizungumzia masuala ya kukopesha na kukopeshana, na kama nakumbuka vizuri last Sunday, wale ambao wanaenda kanisani, tuliambiwa ya kwamba ukikopesha mtu na umeona huyu jamani maskini, usiitishe. Kwa hiyo nilifurahi sana kwa sababu
hold up, tulia.
watu watala watakuwa wameachana na Aaron, na vile tunaendelea hiyo pressure ya
tafadhali
hautaweza kumatch sana, na you'll not be in a position to convince others that this is your lifestyle. Na kama
unachoma bana, unachoma
ndani ya mfuko sana. Aaron, unajitetea ukiwa upande upi?
Upande wa kushoto. Nikiwa papa hapa. And I really concur, because ukiona kwanza it has been said, like Insta kwanza, Insta is hata Twitter, Facebook hainanga hii nini sana. Facebook, first off, kama unatumia Facebook wewe ni elder generation, siko by Instagram has really caused mayhem. Na ukiangalia inakuja not only with the lifestyle, na nilikuwa nimesema body positivity. Kuna dem atenda apige picha, ama boy apige picha and the Photoshop edit that picture, ajiweke sijui wapi, Bangalore or somewhere, edit her physique, alafu post your picture, and it will get so many likes as compared kupiga tu picha hivyo aweke hivyo. So what do you think other teens or other youth wakiona such a picture, like, oh, this is the picture that is getting likes, pictures like these are getting likes, oh damn, na mimi napiga hapa nimeenda kanisa napata 2 likes, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? Mkondo tu utafuatwa. They will go do the same thing, take pictures, edit what they look like, edit their physical features, take out things which the AI is telling them that you're not supposed to look like this, you're supposed to have a thinner nose, you're supposed to have a thinner waist, a huger bust. And at the end of the day, mtu akienda kujiangalia kwa kioo, the person doesn't even look what they look like in the picture. Set aside the lifestyle that is being portrayed. This is also body positivity. Ndio maana siku hizi you want to see ladies want to be slim, they want to be light skinned, they want to be curvy, they don't want to have broad noses, they don't want to have whatever is happening, whatever is occurring naturally on their bodies, and they go to great extents. Wanaenda wana bleach, wanaenda wanafanya sijui nini, they get implants, they get injections and stuff. They, at the end of the day, it might affect themselves, it might affect them. Because ukiona mtu kama nani who gets many likes, na unapata 2 likes, there is no reason for you not to do what they're doing. So that is another pressure that is added from social media.
Just to bring something that is really coming up as a result of this societal pressure, because if you can't live to the expectation, and also I'll bring Don in this, if you can't live to the expectation of the society, you tend to have that low self-esteem. And this affects you in so many ways. You can't be at work, you are not productive. You can't be in school, you're not performing. You can't be in your marriage, you don't experience the love that you deserve. And remember, at one time, we were being told in a marriage or in a relationship whereby one partner is not free with the other person because of what the in-laws really want. Umeoleka mwaka wa kwanza, in-laws wako tayari wanataka uwe na watoto 3. Umeoleka the first year of your marriage, already there wanting you to have that big house. Remember, these are some of the things that some youth believe they can jengana yani pole pole. Sio ile kitu ya kwanza nayo abruptly. But now, if the society expects that from you, and if I can get this from Don, then I come to you, Aaron, later. If you are in such a situation where your self-esteem has been brought down because of these expectations, what can you do as a young person to bring your self-esteem up and also to avoid the backlash from your society? Your clan, wanasema you represent your clan everywhere. Au no, napiga picha Instagram, I'll come with you after this. Kurepresent clan vizuri. Yes, unajua picha lazima upige na look upige vizuri. So Don, how to bring your self-esteem up when you're already down and with these pressures from the society, from your family coming along?
First of all, I think you need to brace up, manzi. Hawezi tu kaa pale wanaongea na huko tu, you don't work hard. Work hard. Hiyo lazima you work hard. But the thing is like this, like I saw a comment, like this comment, Alex Onsase anasema, hii pressure ni serious manze. Ukifail kimaisha juu ya process, I think anaamina hapo work hard. Jamii haitaki kujua, haikutambui kabisa. Watasifu hata mwizi ameomoka kuliko wewe una hustle. So like ni kujikakamua tu. You get what this guy is saying? Are you getting it? Like anasema, this is what is really happening. Like the society doesn't really care. Wanataka wakuone umeomoka. Like watasifule mse mwenye ameiba, sijui ako na gari lakini ni mwizi, watasifu. Like see, in South Africa, do you know what happened in South Africa? Like the youth in South Africa. These guys, unapata mtu kijana ni 17 years lakini ana drive Porsche. Si yake. He just steals it and sell it for just to keep on drugs and stuff. Like that's what they do. Now it's like a business, like an appraisal at their home. Like I've watched so many documentary about South Africa, this youth in South Africa. They actually into carjacking and stuff, but in their families they are praised for that. Like yes, so long as you bring food home, it's fine. But ule mse mwenye ana hustle, like for example, look at like graduates, for example, or say tukigraduate tunakuanga na ile, tuko na hiyo mentality, we are going out there to get a white collar job. It has been a culture like that, like we are going there to get jobs and stuff. Mse mwenye amegraduate si rahisi umpate ameshika pana pale garage, for example. And do you know what those mechanics earn pale garage? Like wewe umegraduate, ulienda campus, yes, you are still living at your mother's place, but kuna mechanic mse yeye hata kwenda hata form 1 aliachia class 8 ameenda ameshika spana adu mse anafanya wonders pale kwa kijiji. So the society looks at him as a semi god, like mse amemake it, lakini wewe wanakuona alipoteza tu wakati. So it happens manze. So the thing is like just close your 2 years and then wacha ingie huku, what you do, go out there and say work. Just have to prove them wrong. That's it, Cleophas.
Thank you very much, Don, for that elaborate explanation. And if you can get the comments from YouTube, if you can keep them running, and on Facebook we have Cedric Ayeka, Eunice Mwangi, Tracy Chapman, Millicent Ochieng, Adrian Peter, who is watching us live from Kisumu, Kemri, wale watu ambao wanatafuta madawa ya corona. Augustine Williams, thank you very much for joining this live broadcast. Alex Onsase, thank you very much. Zako Mondi has a comment and anasema expectations should be aligned accordingly to individuals' life, not others' expectations. And I agree with Zako Mondi on this, because Zach is a very respectable member of a society right now. When it comes to Siaya County, even the governor will stop his errands. And so if Zach comes to Siaya and Governor Asanga stops everything, what makes you think that another youth will not try to emulate whatever Zach is saying, or whatever Zach is doing, emulate another person's lifestyle? And at the same time, we should not live to the expectations or to what another person thinks that that's the right way to be. Millicent Ochieng anasema hali ifika first year, you just want to become a human being.
Human being, man.
Yeah, kitu kizuri ni hiyo tu. Yes, Shaq Charles anasema being confused to an extent, you just want to become a human being. Yeah, that's the confusion that we go through. Na Cedric Ayeka, who is watching us live from Nairobi, anasema kwamba pressure ni real nje brother. Cedric, hope your pressure unaona kweli hapo nje. And what can we do to minimize this pressure? Because at the end of this discussion, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us live on YouTube and Facebook, we want to come to a conclusion. At the end of it all, we want to learn something and say, this is not the path that we should follow as young people. And we have Millicent Ochieng. Also, there is no way out. Hard work is the key. Ameweka kifungu hapo. Hiyo kifungu sijui ni kama ile ya Ari. Ni ya Ari ama ni ya Ari?
Wewe.
Yes, Ari amemoka kuna kifungu ya kifungu. So we have Tracy. We have Tracy who is commenting on the same point here, self-esteem. Na anasema ya kwamba confidence, good self-esteem matters. Me, I carry my confidence everywhere I go, and I'm happy besides the struggles of life that have to be there. By the way, Tracy is a model, and Tracy Miss. At one point, he was Miss Moi University. Maybe alikuwa first runner up, ama alikuwa runner up, ama alikuwa second runner up. But she's a model. And no, in modeling, confidence comes along. And you can't live as a model to copy someone else. You must be you and ensure that you are the best version of yourself. So Tracy, all the best in your hustle that you do in Kisumu County as you try to raise others in your local residence. If it's in Nyalenda, Masaria, wherever you are in Kisumu, that's the spirit. Keep that blaze. Keep it ablaze. Aaron.
You want a blazer?
We have Adrian Peter. Adrian Peter, huyu nadhani ni informatics students. Anasema ya kwamba this is good, my man. Keep on doing the work. Huyu jamaa na pressure.
Yako fiti.
Aliomoka huyo.
Ana pressure. But thank you very much, Adrian, for tuning in to tonight's discussion. And seemingly we have another person on board, and Charles is back. Charles, give us wisdom.
Look, there's one thing I can say.
Yes, sir.
Some pressures you cannot evade them. Societal pressures from your parents. Obviously, the parents want to see you do well, and the notion of most of our parents is that if you become a teacher, if you become a painter, if you become a mechanic, it won't really do much. That's the notion that they have. If you become an engineer, if you become a pilot, if you become a doctor, that is a generation that has been afflicted by just one generation. You have moved up one class from being this class to a class of being pilots or being engineers or being doctors. They will also want the best from you. That's why they want these prestigious jobs, quote unquote. But you can take all this in stride. These are the inevitable ones. But there are others in ziko inevitable. Kama kwanza compare with someone else. And that is the biggest pressure that is out there. Punching above your weight, comparing yourself with other people. That is the unnecessary pressure that you put on yourself, which plus these other pressures makes life really difficult for you as a youth, as a young person. So, hautakufa if you don't get likes. It won't be detrimental to your life if you have only 200 followers or 50 friends or something. It won't, unless you want to become, unless you want to earn from, let's say, YouTube or TikTok or somewhere else. Then you put all your energy in there. But such pressures of comparing yourself with someone else's successes, measuring your life using someone else's life, it will lead you to depression, quite simply. Maybe the person comes from a rich background, or they have great funding from a sponsor or something like that. I don't know, sponsor kutoka Sweden, or sponsor kusoma, or something like that. You can't start comparing yourself with them because you'll be punching above your weight. Hapo ndio utaanza kwenda into debt, going into borrowing, going into gambling. which won't actually help you in the long run. It will not. These are the pressures that we can avoid. The others, we cannot do anything about them. Really. They're there. We have to face them. But such pressures, the internal pressures that we give ourselves, we can actually avoid them. And this will make life much easier for a lot of you. So
thank you very much, Aaron. And we have Charles, who was just joined. And Charles, if you can give us some brief on whatever thing you want, you gave us some highlights on what your perspective is on youth and societal pressure when it comes to marriage and any other matter that you would like to raise tonight. And actually, before you give us the response, we are getting feedback live from Facebook and all those who are joining us. Shout out to you. We have Eva Dibeki, Eve Justin Sagini, Shanice Obongo, Kevin Amzil, Ori Malel. We have Jugani Eric, Lieshman Jr., Quinta Otieno, Eva Dibeki, Joshua Okoth, Nicole Caroline Omolo. Yes, and Patricia Combo was saying, good work we're doing on this topic, and this is a discussion that we're supposed to be having. And before you give us even your comment on this, Chuck Charles, we have this comment from Eva Dibeki on Facebook, and as Kwamba, youth of nowadays are not patient enough. This leads them to pressures because they want to compete with other youth who are ahead of them. They forget that being successful is not a walk in the park. So, Charles, if you can give us your perspective on how to avoid the societal pressure and to concentrate on whatever thing you're doing. Karibu.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Cleophas. And I can say that, yes, these societal pressures, they are real and they are there. But all of us should know that each and everyone, we have a race, and we need to learn on our path. Every person has different path, and every other person is learning a different race. So you can learn my race, of which I'm learning a different one. You will end up either losing, or maybe you can even faint on the way. So what I can say is that let us learn to learn our race. So mtu akibie bio yake, you know, because like for me, an example, a good example, most of my colleagues that we were studying with long ago, most of them are parents right now. They have kids, they have one, they have two. You need to be there. I can't, that is not my race. You know, even if I have that external pressure, what do I want? Am I in that capacity to do this? That's one point all of us as youth have to understand. Some of us, even right now, and you can have pressure like, what are you not doing? Others are doing that, they have achieved this in life. Well, we all can't be the same. We all need to know we have things to do right now. So all youth, they have to focus on what, and be on their own path at that specific time. That's all I can say. Because if you don't learn others' races, then you will walk on your pace, and everything will be okay. You will not be challenged by all those pressures. You have to do this. Why is it not going like this? Why is it not like this? Yeah, that's my point. Thank you
very much.
Cleophas, can I say one thing?
Yes, I have a comment from Beda. Beda Otieno, expectation for easy life, not in line with the reality. Aaron ARAKA?
Yes, kwa wadau, mabrathe huko nje. There's one thing I want to tell you. Chagua. Look, if you're going to date a chick, ona dem ako kwa ligi yako, tafadhali, please. Usiende kudate dem mwenye ni expensive na unajua huwezani. huyo atakutoa mado. you will end up spending the money that hauna. At first, I had a friend of mine alikuwa anasema dem hawezi nifanya nitumie pesa zenye sina, siwezi enda kuspend on. He got a girlfriend. He had a girlfriend. That guy, not to say, that guy had to take loans later because you know their demands that girlfriends have. Kama uwezani na msichana wenyewe, wachana na yeye. Please. Or look in your own pond. Kama mwenye unaweza manage ama mwenye mnaelewana, that will help you a great deal if you're going into a relationship with some chick, or mostly it's dudes because I've never met a chick who's, unless kuna hapo nje strong independent ladies who finance most of the parts of relationships. But if it's taking out, you'll have to take out a chick, sindio? Kama ni kununua sijui whatever suka nywele, obviously atajisupport, but at some point you'll need, you're the dude, you're the head of whatever that relationship is. Pedicure, manicure, nywele, kumpeleka out, nini. So look at the person you're trying to date. Don't usidate mtu just because the trophy you're looking for. Look for a person that will understand you, that will make your life easier. Otherwise, that was very burning. I had to say that because I have seen several guys getting burned because of this very thing. Na msiniwe pale kwa comments, madada, please, pole pole. Don't kill me. Don't butcher me in the comment section.
Yes, tuko hapa na tuko live. If you're joining us, the discussion tonight is youth and societal pressure. You can join us live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yes, Instagram will share this link after the show. But right now you can find us live on YouTube. And so we have the comments coming through. We read that from Eve. Eve, who is watching us live from here Nairobi, ama sijui ako Nyeri, ama ako Machakos. We have a comment from Eddie Pedro. Times have changed and pressure on the young people today ain't easy to handle. Thank you very much, Edwin Pedro, watching us live from Kisumu. Nawakuta loud and clear. Hope anasema nawapata loud and clear. Yes, we have other comments, and I missed one comment from Millicent. Millicent had something to say. My second take is, do your thing, do your own thing. This pressure will forever be there. Define what is it you want to do and do it without looking at what others are doing. We are all answering different calls. And Adiapo, Aaron Charles, if you can allow me to give you this example, you remember when we first hosted, upon rebranding, we hosted MCA Tricky. MCA Tricky. Yeah. I was sharing with MCA Tricky some time back because I already knew we were going to have this discussion tonight on Thursday. And MCA Tricky aliniambia, some races that are won when you don't run, you just stand. Yani, simama tu, at times uko kwa mbio, hata tu hizo nini zikuache, like ziende tu. There are so many things that we are competing with in our life as young people. At times it's good to take a break. Take a break. Unaweza kuwa unakimbia na unaenda kutafuta tu shida mbele. At times you can take a break from all this life and say, it's the time to breathe. It's the time to recollect myself and say, this is not the direction I want to. Maybe mtu amekuweka na pressure, amekuweka mbio, unaenda mbio yako yote, yeye ashafika. Unamkimbiza pale mbele, ujui vitapitia hapa katikati. Labda kuna mamba vile tuliambiwa kwa BBI, tushapita mamba na daraja imetengenezwa na Musa, alisikia wapi? So many things are happening, and some races can be won by just letting other things pass you, and you remain where you are. And so we have other comments. Pressure is real from Joy Mudhoni, who is watching us live from here, Nairobi, Kenya. We don't have to be the same. The pressure is real, and that's a nice topic. Charles, do you have any addition on this topic, Adrian anasema kwamba pressure is real, ignore it and work very hard and smart. Kuomoka haina shortcut. What's your take on that, Charles? Vijana tumekuwa wazembe kiasi gani, kiasi ya kwamba tuwezi kukaa tu chini polepole na tuseme no, this is not right path that we are supposed to be taking as young people. Ni gani tunafaa kufuata vizuri, Charles?
You know, our problem is that we get to be bothered by things that concern us less, you know, and these are contributing to a lot of this. So mi naweza sema let people be bothered na mambo yenye yanawahusu sana. What you think it matters to you, the thing that you think it's of utmost importance to you, I think that one should be bothering you. Usigoje ama usikubali other forces, external forces to be bothering you, because it won't be good. Let those forces act outside. You have your internal force that is managing other external forces, and then it will bring them into equilibrium, which means wewe utakuwa na hiyo point ya hizi pressure kutoka huku, hizi zingine kutoka huku zinaku affect. No, you just try and be neutral.
Thank you very much. Ari, Araka, any comment to bring home?
There's a unit tulifanya second year, nilianguka sana. Inaitwa media theories. And if there's one thing I remember from that unit, Dr. P.H. Omanga,
yes,
whoever controls the media controls the mind, and whoever controls the mind controls the body. Kama sahi tukimaliza kutoka hapa, where are we gonna go? Mimi, I'll personally go finish whatever work I had, maybe take a bath, take a nikule, and then I watch something on Netflix or I watch something on telly. So there is a lot of content coming out from this westernized media. That is a fact. Really, you can't meet anyone who doesn't watch a series from Netflix, some Showmax, some whatever site you watch from. And there is something called consumerism, right? And the thing that advertisers do the best is they show you something that you do not have. They show you, like, if you have a house, right? Uko na kiti, wanakwambia hiyo kiti yako ni mbaya, buy this one. Uko na television, ndio? Your television is not good resolution, buy this one. You have this car, right? Or you have this table, or you have this sack. This is not good enough, buy this one. And the thing that people have to understand, the young people have to understand, is that they are products to these people. To the advertisers, you're not actually being sold products. You are the product yourself. So once you get to understand that, then it will click in your mind that I do not really need to compete with that. I do not really need to integrate that into my life. The same thing will occur in social media, because that is the greatest thing. That is the greatest pressure. That is the greatest internal pressure, to be honest. Whatever we consume into our minds, whatever controls our mind, will control our body. It will control the choices we make. It will control whatever we think about, and it will control how we live our lives. And tukiongea the previous meeting, the first thing we were told to invest in, we start by investing in God. Find a firm, steady place to start to build your foundation from. Then invest in your friends. Invest in the people that are around you. Because, let me give you a scenario. A 2-year-old child grows around fellow 2-year-old children around a monastery, right? Until wanafika 15 years. All they will know about is about the monastery and about religious beliefs. Our 2-year-old and this other 2-year-old grows around lawlessness and grows around free-range living. It is very difficult for this 2-year-old child to grow up to 15 years akijua things about spirituality. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it should be very difficult. So you should make it easier for yourself to live a good life by surrounding yourself with the proper friends. Two, understanding that whatever is on the other side of the screen, be it your laptop, be it your television, be it your phone, mostly 90% or 100% is not real. It is a product being sold to you. And you are not a product. You should understand that. And once you get a grasp of that, you'll get to align yourself with whatever vision you have. You won't start to deviate and start comparing your life with other people. We'll have certain goals. And if you set your mind to that, you'll be able to achieve these goals. Hautakuwa na so much pressure. And vile tulikuwa tumesema, there's always pressures that you cannot shake off. There's pressures from parents. There's pressures from these guardians. Ukifika a certain age, obviously, if you're a chick, you're like, what's happening? Hakuna dalili. If you're a dude, ukifika a certain age, ukimaliza kampo, ukiingia working 3-5 years, they're like, is there a spouse? Alafu hata ukioa 3 months down the line, they're like, yo, what's happening? Is there nothing going on in this marriage? So such pressures will always be there. But let's try as much as possible to shed off these internal pressures zenye tunazipatia zenye ni unnecessary. It will make life so much easier for us. Hata kama kuna these other pressures, we can be able to cope up with them. They won't be as overwhelming as zinakuja zinapata you already have social pressures. It's like having a bridge. If there's a heavy lorry passing through the bridge, na huku chini it has very sturdy scaffolding, it won't collapse. But if the bridge internally has rotting wood, the pressure that was applied by the lorry, the bridge itself will collapse. So working on yourself, removing these unnecessary internal pressures that you can from social media and from comparing yourselves with other people, it will significantly reduce the overall pressures that are on us. Because this is life. In life, there are wins, there are losses, there are disappointments, and there are pressures. They will always be there. We found them here, we will then leave them here. The previous generations faced these pressures. We are facing these pressures, and the generations after us will face these pressures. But we can make the burden lighter on ourselves by getting rid of these internal pressures. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, ARAKA, for the insight. And I think that can be your take for tonight. And there are so many things we grasp for tonight. It's 3 minutes past 9 p.m. Kenyan time. And here we are having this discussion, and we are almost coming to an end of it. And I'll not do justice to some individuals who joined us live. And we have Eva Debeki saying, run your race. Even, yes, we have that comment from Eve. Run your race. Even if you are making baby steps, one day you'll make it. My youth, to achieve any pressure. We have Winnie Otin joining us from Nairobi. And anasema, it's true. We need to be intentional about taking a break. This is because we live in a very noisy world, and we can easily lose focus pursuing the wrong things. If we could only take a break and reflect on the important things in life, the societal pressure will be the least of the things to talk about Sahizi. Thank you very much, Winnie Otin, for that comment. And we have John Abdul Buako, who is just joining us towards the end of this discussion tonight, and asema, stand your grounds in all circumstances. Thank you very much. Shak Charles amesema aje? We've lost that.
Stay in your lane, run your race, and have good pacemakers.
Thank you very much, bro.
Na tujengane, vijana tujengane. Tujengane bana. Yeah, tujengane. In all aspects, tujengane.
We mbona nafikiria unataka ile kitu ingine?
We tulia bana, tujengane tu, inatusaidia.
Vijana tujengane. And we have Rajula Shaznaida Rajula. Hi, from Hungary. Such talks should be normalized. Wow, we are watched all over the world. We've become
Really?
international, and this
Wewe ni
is
Hungary
our
pale Kiamaiko ama
hii ni Hungary. Huoni hapo Hungary, unaona Kimaiko
kuna Hungary Kiamaiko, so but it's good
usijali.
to have
Huu ni Madam International, na tunashukuru sana as we come almost to the end of this show tonight. We really appreciate your feedback and your response tonight. And as we take it home, the end of this broadcast, let's learn to take a break, reflect, and also pause in anything that you're doing and say, is this pressure necessary? So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And if I can have Aaron and your last words, then I'll get Don, then we'll call it a night. So I start with you, Charles, then Harry, then we go to Don, if you'll join us.
Yeah, was it? I think we have talked, we have deliberated, we have seen the things that affect us. And I think we've just talked about it. If I say more, I'll be repeating myself. So I don't think I really have any last words. I think we'll be meeting more often and talk about such topics. I think they'll help us as youth, not only to lead our lives, but to help others. So, peace.
Thank you very much. Charles?
Well, I can say, okay, as we are summarizing, I will tell all of you guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to us. And thank you so much for your comments. And don't forget that we have to help those that are with us. If you see the other person that you know is moving out of his or her lane or learning another person's race, please help that person. Venye kumeambiwa vijana jengane. Asante.
Thank you very much. And Don, your last word tonight?
Sijui itakuwa na I will only be repeating what wase wamesema. The thing is, manze, mimi na go for confidence. Like Joy Mudhoni amesema, confidence is knowing who you are and not changing it bit because someone else has a version of it. So confidence, manze, confidence tu. Kujituma nayo. Omoka ni omoke. Ama omoka ni kuibie.
Wewe.
Omoka ni bidii.
Please.
Nayo.
Omoka pia mimi naomoka.
Thank you.
Bwana Cleo, funga hii story.
Hey.
Yes. Aaron, unasema nini?
Funga hii story, jamaa wa India anaweza tuibia hati picha.
No, we are still taking this song. I'll not like to leave other people out of this discussion tonight. Watu wametujenga. Tracy amesema she's been watching live.
Dallas, Texas.
Tuko international.
Yeah, Dallas. Thank you very much, Tracy, for joining us. Adrian, Peter, comments zako zimetujenga sana. Asante sana. Umesema hapo you agree. We are all answering different calls. Yes, but yeah, don't give in to the negative social pressure. Be kind to yourself. Everything will work out if you are angry enough to work for it.
Yes. Unasema cheza kiwewe, unacheza tu kiwewe.
Cheza tu kiwewe hapo. Then Alex on Sunset tukimalizia show anasema ya kwamba hiyo topic yake, you guys are making a lot of sense. Yeah? Don, hizi vitu zinakimbia haraka sana on my end. Sizioni vizuri. So anasema ya kwamba on Sunset.
Mzee mbaya.
What Harry is saying is so true. Meshach gave a good advice. Cleophas, the show is so educative. Tuned from Kisii. Thank you very much, Joy Mudhoni, tushasoma. We have Mimi Bree. Mimi Bree is our vlogger here on YouTube. Na anafanya kazi mzuri sana. Thank you very much for joining us towards the tail end of this discussion. The talk has been helpful and educative from Tracy Chapman. Thank you very much, Maureen Maimbo. Thank you very much. You're joining us towards the tail end from County 001. That's a nice discussion. And ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this great discussion, and we take it home that we have the responsibility to take the pressure down, to take a break, and to go home strong, and never to bow to the societal pressure and to stand strong. I've been your host for tonight with my co-host, ARAKA, the head of our productions and general operations, and that's Daniel Jaka, and we have our managers from the other end. We have Charles Meshach. Thank you very much for making this broadcast a success. Till next time, do have yourself a good night, and let's
Mtaani Quick Auto Spa. We welcome you to Mtaani Quick Auto Spa. Our services include pressure wash, steam wash, snow foam and gentle hand wash, wheel and rim cleaning, tire shine, engine and body wash, vacuum, carpet cleaning, and much more. We apply encapsulation cleaning method to attack all forms of dirt and debris, which guarantee you the best results. We are consistent on quality services at affordable prices. Book an appointment now. You can call, text, DM or WhatsApp 0710 587 285 and we will come to you. All payments will be via M-Pesa Paybill 731-1341. Follow us on our social media platforms at Mtaani Quick Auto Spa.
Quick Auto Spa.
Welcome to Ahava Medical Center. We are located at Konamaji, Manyata, opposite Kisumu Elite Academy, Kisumu County. At Ahava, we offer general and specialist consultations, laboratory services, pharmacy, mother and child clinic. We also offer inpatient and maternity services including Linda Mama, and soon opening up our theater services. We accept NHIF and other insurance companies. Choose Ahava Medical Center as your facility of choice today. Call us on 0714-815-323. Follow us on Facebook at Ahava Medical Center, Kisumu. Ahava Medical Center, healthcare with compassion.